Hello and welcome back to the Boosted Shirts channel. Last video we was doing a lot of discussions about what was going on with the car and what's been done with it, and at the last part of the video I did turn around and say I want to try and sort this overheating issue out, so fingers crossed we can sort that out today. The reason I believe it's not working very well is because of this sensor. So I bought one from Febby. Can't really see it, it's backwards, but that's the part code for it. I have no idea if it's the right one for it, but today we're going to find out. Behind me, as you can tell, I've started ripping it apart. Intercooler's all off, front end's pretty much all the way off. Yeah, let's crack on with what's going on with it. Well, I kind of gave it away now, haven't I? When I said in the last video that I was going to experiment with red. Yeah, you can see red now. Right, so let's crack on with what's going on with this. Most of it is actually disconnected now. Everything's off, it's just ready to fall off. These are very simple to take apart. Take these radiators off. Take the crash bar if you have two 13mm bolts just here, and you have two 13mm bolts just there, and you would usually have this little 8mm that's attached to the top of it. Crash bar is here with the intercooler on it, cable tied, standard. That's how we roll. And obviously the first real thing you want to do to get to the radiator is you want to take the bumper off. I didn't film that because it's pain. There are so many 10mm bolts holding it on. Anyone who owns a mk3 Golf will understand the pain. So everything is pretty much disconnected, and one of the main reasons I still think that it is overheating is a couple of years ago I obviously blew the head gasket on it and I put some head gasket repair in it. And don't do that. It's not a smart idea. The head gasket repair is like concrete. It literally just goes everywhere. That is one of the reasons I had to paint the engine bay. So I had to completely sand it off. It just went horrible. And the colour of the coolant that's come out of it is ridiculous. And bearing in mind I didn't even put coolant in it. I've put just water in it like a couple of months ago when I was trying to bleed it. Another reason to get it changed is it is battered. As you know, it is awful. I'm just really hoping that the switch is the right one for it, but hey ho, let's take it off. And it is off. Yes, it's quite funny. You know, it has a different crash bar on it. Well, slam panel, I should say, not crash bar. A couple of years ago, I sold this car to one of my friends, and he crushed it. No, he smashed a sump on it, and he didn't know where the tow eye is on it. And for anyone that doesn't actually know, for a mk3 tow eye, it's here, but it's behind like the little reflectors at the front. He didn't know about that, and he wrapped the strap around the front of it, and as he pulled it, it snapped the front of the slam panel. Slam panel is literally made out of fiberglass and plastic, and it's just, yeah, just obliterated. He got a new one for it, but it was a little bit damaged when I put the other one on it, and I brought a GTI. The GTI is what I got to do this swap with, because you want the GTI subframes and arms and hubs and stuff. So I've got the GTI front crash bar on it. Slam panel, not crash bar, slam panel. And yeah.
So as you can see here, to put the radiator into the slam panel, you just have 4 bolts holds it in. There's 4 10mm bolts. You have 2 on one side and you have 2 on the other side. As you can see, I am tightening them up. I did have to do it off camera because it was a bit fiddly doing it on my own on the floor. It would have been nice to have one extra person, but it didn't happen. So here I'm just explaining that I am pretty certain I used the original 1.4 radiator when I first done the swap, and I completely forgot that I'd done that, and it makes sense now why I had to modify the wiring for it to fit. I had to flip it upside down. As you can see, the outlets on the right hand side, they were the wrong way around, and as you can see, it is definitely a lot bigger, the new one, and it's very simple to put it back on. It's just a reverse. Just put it on and let it rest. And this is the wiring that I was just on about. I had to extend it for it to reach the other side because the switch should have been on the right hand side of the picture, but it wasn't. As I flipped it, it had to be on the left hand side, so I did have to extend the wires on it. And I'm explaining here that when I done the splicing, I thought the potential issue of the fan switch not working was I thought I ruined the wiring on it. But I'm pretty certain I've put multimeters to it, and I'm pretty certain they've got power. I did try and test it with my multimeter, but my multimeter was typically dead. And as you can see, I got my multimeter here because I was just trying to work out if it did have power going to it. It just kept flashing different numbers at me, so I'm pretty certain it was the batteries on the last leg. So I will come back to that and see if they are still working, but I am positive they do have power going to them still. Now, I am fully aware that I should have realistically upgraded that radiator, especially with the power that I'm running, because of the issue that I've been running into these past couple of weeks. I didn't want to go out and fork the £250 plus for an upgraded radiator to then realise the radiator wasn't blocked and the switch wasn't working. I don't want to waste £200, and I'm pretty sure someone else doesn't want to waste £200. So at the moment, this is just temporary. It cost me like 30 quid from Napa. So as soon as I have a chance, I'm going to definitely upgrade it to the nice aluminium one because it definitely needs it. It's actually quite interesting. I thought I had it on the video, but I didn't. I did put a video up showing the GTI fans on them. It's quite interesting. Did I tell the difference between a GTI surround and a non-GTI is the fans. The fans have got a twin fan on them, and they literally just run on a little tiny belt. That is definitely going to be upgraded soon as well. I'm going to put some big electric ones on it, but I just thought it was quite interesting that they came and they used belt. So if many people have issues with maybe cooling and that, try and actually inspect your belts if you have a GTI to see if they're snapped, because you might actually only have one fan working instead of having the two on it.
Right, I'm going to have to apologise. I filmed everything on doing this radiator. However, I didn't realise that my microphone was dead. So there's videos of me talking to nothing. Should have checked it, but I've been having issues with my microphone all morning and I thought it was working, because it was. But what I will say, I'll probably do some like over talking and stuff on the other one. I think when I done this swap originally, I think I used the original 1.4 radiator, and that's why I had to modify it. Because as I said, I would have said on the video, I had to modify this crash bar to work for this because the sensor was the other side and the hoses were the wrong way around. But just for comparison, let me just show you. That is the 1.4. Yeah, so that might be another reason why it wasn't cooling the best, because I've lost 2 inches, 3 inches. That's a lot. That's a lot. You know, everything's still connected into it now, but again, I will do some like voiceovers and stuff on the other video. Basically, it's just me whinging. But let's get the rest of this on, and I really do apologise that I didn't everything This video is not going to be very good today. It's just, and I'm no movie magic guy. I'm not going to just put it all back together and then take it apart again and film it when I've already done it. But no one wants to be here for that. But let's get this crush bar on with the cable tied intercooler on it, standard. However, but I need to find my screws first. So very simple. 4 13mm bolts. He says I have 3. I have 4. Try on my. There's my 13. No. And let's do the best we can. I'll get this in. So very simple when you don't have intercoolers in the way. Oi hey. There. Oh god. There goes my gun. It'd be so much nicer to have one person to help you. Just to lift. Let's get these intercooler pipes somewhat close. Now all of these intercooler pipes are getting redone. Hopefully. I'll bosh it together with universal parts when I've done it. It works, but it doesn't work for long really. It pops off all the time. Good, that's that. Alright, so let's make sure everything's lined up. And there was a Jubilee clip, and now I don't have a Jubilee clip. So I don't know where you've got. Ah, found you. Okay, Jubilee clip on. Alright, that is there. So, nice new radiator is in intercooler pipes. Somewhat in. There we go. I'm looking forward to redo these. It's just a mess at the moment. Right, make sure we're all lined up. And then now the torque settings for those 13mm bolts are FT. Fairly tight. Don't need to be massively tight, but fairly tight. And that's that for now. Right, so the next part of the puzzle is to put the bumper back on. Now, I am very worried about putting this front bumper on. Just painted it. And the other bumper, when I said in one of the other videos, the yellow never settled. So it never set on the doors, the boot, the bumper. Me being me, I tried using paint stripper on a bumper just to see what it would do. It was knackered anyway. And yeah, do not put paint stripper on bumpers. Don't do it. So I brought another one. It's supposed to be an insurance approved one, but I've had a lot of issues with it. I don't know if that's just how it is. It's the first time I've ever bought a bumper off of eBay that's like an insurance, like, same thing. I've had to cut so much away, and I didn't know if it was me being stupid or if it was the car that was playing up because it hasn't been together for a while. But I put the old one back on and it fit on perfect, fit on fine, just looked messy. Put the other one on and it just did not want to sit. And I've got a feeling that the insurance approved ones, I don't think the back bit, where the number plate goes on the back of the bumper, I don't think that's bigger than the old one. I think they've like made them smaller. I mean, they've got to, I suppose. I mean, can't really remanufacture an original part correctly. So I'm assuming that's what they've done, but I just thought it was very odd. I mean, a lot of them have been sold as well. I've never had any other people commented on it before I bought it, but I, I don't. I'm gonna have to do a bit more research, but I don't know if the bumpers are different from like aircon because, like I said earlier, this slam panel was from the GTI and it had aircon on it, and I'm sure I took the crash bar off of it. Now I'm wondering if when I brought that new bumper, it wasn't for aircon for some reason. Maybe it's bigger, but this was years ago, so I can't really remember. I took all the bumpers off of the old one and I repainted them and put them back on. But I'll do some more research and I'll see what I can figure out. But I just think very odd. But less of me yapping. I've already dropped this bumper once, and it was when I was filming. A phone fell and then the bumper fell, and it's like, oh, what do I grab? So I let them both drop, and there's a little marking from bumper now. But hey ho, it's what's going to happen. In the summertime, the whole car's getting painted again. This colour at the moment is all just rattle can. It looks nice, but it's not how I want it. I've got all the stuff in here to paint it properly. My compressor is too powerful for my generator to run, so I need to get a bigger generator if I can use my compressor. So I thought I'll rattle can it for now, and it's very expensive. I mean, you're looking at £11 a can, and I've used 10 probably already just to do one side of the car, and I've still got to get the other side done. But it's what's going to happen, isn't it? It's just what's going to happen. Alright, let's try and get this bumper on and see how it looks. I've got the grille to paint, so that's what I'm going to do in a bit. I'm toying with the idea of having the bottom half red, and then where the top of the grills come down, I'm thinking to do that black. So I've got black front indicators going on with the the front reflectors with the indicators. They're smoked that I've just brought. I'm waiting for those to come, and the wing mirrors, sorry, they've got tinted ones out. So I think I've got to do a black bit there. I think it'll look quite nice, but let's just see how this goes. So, as you can see, probably not much to make it out of the camera, but when I dropped it, damaged it there, but it's what's going to happen. I've got some touch-up pen if I need to, but... And the other thing I've had to do as well, I've had to cut all of this out. I never had to do that on the other one. I had to trim the back bit. Oh, sorry. I had to trim the back bit here where the intercooler pipes go, but I've never had to trim all of this off for it to fit. I'm sure all of this is smaller, but I think the wide mouth still look cool anyway. I'm going to probably put some mesh behind the back of it also, just, I want it to look 90s, and what more 90s than putting some mesh behind it? Oh, it's really cool, but let's have a look. And you are going to see me struggle like hell putting this on, because I'm telling you, something's not right with this bumper, but I've got it, I've brought it, I'm making use of what I've got. I don't know why, but I have to pull to put them half down, and it is super tight, and this is going to pop off again. It does constantly pop off, and it's so annoying. Oh, we're good there. I'm going to put one of the screws in. Will I get away with it? It just doesn't fit right, and I I just don't understand what is going on with it. It is really frustrating. But like I said, I've got it now, and I've got to make use of what I've got. I'm not made of money, unfortunately, as much as that would be nice. But yeah, let me move it down a bit more so you can see it. You can't really see the bumper being on it, but yeah, I don't know if this is too much red. I think it's too much red. I should have painted that black, shouldn't I? I might still do that. Like this top bit. The GTRs come with it in black. My other one's got it and it's black. You just put back to black on it, but I wanted it to be clean. But I think it's too much red. But until the grills on and stuff, I'm not really gonna know. But this side fits nice. Let's just try and figure out why this other side is not fitting well. Just doesn't. It just that side I've got some serious issue with it. I'll see what I can do with it and I'll come back. Right, so what I am going to do, I'm going to bring my little bench over. I'll probably turn you around so I don't get paint. I'm going to paint that bottom half of the grill, see how it looks with the bottom bit being red. If it looks funky, I do have a different type of black. I've got the black magic from like Matte Ball Goals. I think some of these go come with the black magic. It is a beautiful black pearlescent, sparkly. It is awesome. I've got a can of that, so if it looks a bit funny with the normal black that's already on it, I'm just going to paint that bottom half and scuff it up a little bit, and I'm going to get some red on it, and then see if it looks a little bit nicer. All black looks weird. That's not happening. I'm not doing all black. So I'll bring you over and we'll get that sorted out. Right, so what I'm going to do is this plastic. It's really strange to paint with and like prep. So I'm going to try a Scotch pad to prep the bottom half of it. I don't know how to describe it. Last time I tried sanding it down, it's like, it's going to sound stupid, but it's like a wet plastic. As soon as you start trying to like sand it, it turns like a mush. I don't know how else to describe it. So I've got some Scotch borrow pads here. So I'm going to do it with, I don't actually know what one does what. I'm assuming, I think that's probably the best one to do it with. Grab a little bit of this and cut it down a little bit. With my trusty not sharp fucking blade. I'm just gonna try and scuff it up. Yeah, I think that's gonna work nice. Just give a bit of a scuff up. You don't want to see the lines in it, because whatever you paint over the top, you're going to see the lines through it. So I'm hoping this is fine enough to not see the line underneath it. But make sure you get the corners. The most important bit is to get the corners. When you paint the corners, you must make sure those corners are right, because they will show up not crazy if you don't get those corners right. But this Scotch pad seems to work very, very well. I've also got some of this paint. It's for plastic. You paint it over the top. It's not really a paint as such. It's to make the paint stick on top of it. With obviously when you're dealing with plastic, it's just very, very fiddly to get right. Make sure you get corners Now, don't really know how well I'm going to get those inner bits. But we'll get it all scuffed up. And then grab some masking tape and obviously mask up the bits that you do not want to get paint on. I'm no professional, it's just do what you can do with what you've got to see if anything makes it look a little bit better. But make sure all this top half is covered. Like I said, if this black looks a bit weird, I do have that black magic to go over the top of it. But I'll try now to see how it goes. I'm hoping it should be alright. Let's see. I need to make sure you get all the corners perfect, because it will show. It will show. Now, like I said, I'm not professional when it comes to this sort of stuff, and it's a quick job. I've mastered all the bits that I do not want to be read. These bits, I wanted to try and get some tape in there, but I ain't got patience for those little things, so I'm hoping they don't look too bad. Right, what you now want to do, ideally, this is not really the best type of place to do it. It's quite cold in here, but there's no wind, and it's warmer than you would think than it is outside. I mean, it is afternoon, it's a little warm outside, but in here, I'm not painting outside. Stuff I was on about a minute ago, it's called plastic-free primer, this stuff. Now, what it does, it is a primer to promote adhesion to plastic surfaces. So plastic, when you're trying to paint it, paint can run off of it. So this is basically glue. So you put it over the top of it, you let it dry for about 15 minutes. Touch dry, it says 10 minutes. Probably take a little bit longer because it's really cold in here. And obviously this is the paint I'm going to be using, it's the Halford stuff again. When you use this paint, do not use the nozzles that it comes with. Like, do not. I'll show you what the original nozzles look like. Do not use them. So these are the nozzles that you have. Don't use them. You'd be really surprised what you can get done with changing the nozzle on it. I brought some paint a while ago from another company, and it does come with this style nozzle on it. So it's a fan nozzle. You can buy them individually. They just pop on and off. Use these nozzles. You've got loads of different kinds of it, but these are not good. You'll see constant lines when you're painting something. I'm no professional, but I painted a whole car years and years ago on my first Fiesta that I ever had, and I used that nozzle to paint the car. It was awful. Everyone that knows it knows what I mean. You'll see lines in it everywhere, and you get tiger stripes and all sorts, and it's changed the nozzles on it. Make sure they're all obviously really shook up. I've already used this one, so there's not much in it, so it should be a little bit easier to do it. Now, before you even attempt to paint it, you need to get all the dirt off of it. And the best thing that I've used at the moment is made by Upol. There's lots of other brands out there. Fast drying degreaser. It's basically a panel wipe. There's lots of other people online that sell panel wipe, but all you want to do is grab one of these pots. You just shook it up and you clean it, let it dry, get all that dirt off of it because it will not stick. even if you put that plastic primer, and you'll see everything underneath it. So just make sure it is clean. So what you want to do, get it all shook up. Let me bring it down again so you can see what I am actually doing. Spray it on here, we'll spray it straight on there. I'll do a mixture of like on the white. It says it's fast drying, and it is, but you just got to make sure it is, because if you try and paint straight over the top of it, it'll just fall off. Make sure all of your corners are clean, because the corners will show everything, and I've learnt that many times. You do not get those corners right, yeah, just make sure they are done. Right, so when you just apply that degreaser on it gives you a good chance to give this a good shake. Give it a real good shake, make sure it's activated, because if it's not activated, you're only going to get what's on the top of it, you're not actually going to get it mixed. So I've already been shaking for a while. Just grab it, just a little bit of tester. If you really care about when your car can get really nice paint on your car, make sure it's away from anything, like any paint. You know, you get all dust on it. I'm not too fast because it's going to get done again, and it's unlikely it's really going to get bad. So grab some of this and just lightly apply it. And what basically happens is, from what I've been told, is when you put this on, it's supposed to like soften the plastic on it, and it's already disappearing. So it takes not long to do it. But yeah, apparently it softens the plastic. I don't know fully, but I'm assuming it does. Make sure you wear a mask. Don't be an idiot like me. Wear a mask. So that's lightly applied onto it. Put a little bit more on it. Like I said, the corners. Make sure you get those corners. Right. When you're done using them, tip them upside down. Give them a spray, and it clears the nozzles out on it. Give that 10 minutes to dry. Make it soften the plastic, and then while you're doing that, you'll be doing the maracas with your cam. So while that's drying, I'm going to give this a shake, and I'll be back. Right, so I've been giving this a good shake for a while. Please ignore the noise outside. It's very busy around here this time of day. People messing around, having a bit of fun. Grab a can, make sure it's tested. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean with these fan nozzles. So, you see how there's a line? That's going to give you way more coverage than using the tiny little nozzles. And I'm telling you, when you do it, get those nozzles. Honestly. Right, so that's been drying for a bit now. You want to start with the corners again, but you want to do a light cover. So, corners. Now, depending on what base coat you got, it's going to affect the different colour of what the red is, or so what colour you're using. If you use a white primer, it's going to be brighter. Use a dark primer, it's going to be darker. So I'm fully aware this red's probably going to be not matching the rest of it, but with enough covers you should be able to get it to look pretty close. But get your corners. It is, can't stress it enough, you need to make sure you get your corners, because they will show. Just do a light dusting. Now while that's tacking, make sure you keep shaking it. Trust me, make sure you keep shaking, and you're going to be a pro maraca player at some point when you do these. So when it tacks off, when you do the next paint on it, you don't want to let it fully dry, you still want it to, like I said, be tacky. So when you paint on top of it, it's still going to stick. You let it dry, it's not probably it's going to stick, but it's not going to stick very well, and it can change it, and you see lines and all sorts. So make sure you do a light dusting at first. Make sure you get that pre-coverage on it. Keep shaking. And you just keep building the layers up on it, and it'll eventually start bringing that colour out. Again, let that tack off, give it a few minutes, and then come back to it. Keep shaking.
So with this gloss paint, it says it's a gloss finished on when it's done, but it doesn't actually stay glossy. I done a test the other day on that front bumper, and I painted it and I left it for a couple of days to see if it stayed gloss. It doesn't. So always apply some lacquer on top of it, gives it extra protection anyway. Well, what I was saying before my phone rudely decided to say it had no more storage left on it, deleted a few things. Lacquer, you have to be really, really careful when you're applying it. When you apply it, you put it on too heavy or quite bright, you'll start getting white runs in it. You'd understand when you start doing it, when you go on too heavy, you get white runs all the way through it, and it's not fun to look after. You can usually get a Stanley blade, like a really, really sharp Stanley blade, not this thing, it's rubbish, and you can like scrape away it and then sand it down and then like rebuff it. Minimise what you've actually got to do, and just be really, really careful when you put lacquer on it, because this is what makes it look really, really good. So give it a good shake again. Give it a little tester. Corners again, get your corners first to make sure you get your corners. This stuff is very, very, very in your lungs, so please, if you're going to do it, wear a mask. Don't be stupid, don't do as me.
So this is the finished and look at the gloss on that. Like I said, all these corners will show. You can see I've not really caught it in that corner. This is what I mean, you need to make sure you get those corners right, otherwise you'll end up like that. But let that dry for a couple of days, ideally. Don't want to touch it for a couple of days. I mean, it can dry in like 2 hours, but just leave it a few days.
I completely forgot to film an outro, so if you managed to get through to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. I do realise it's a very long video. I tried fitting in as much as I could as possible. If you could just leave a like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what your opinions are of the grille. Is it too much red? Is it too much black? Do I need to paint the bumper top bit black again? If you could just let me know, and I'd appreciate it. And please tell me what you think about the headlights, whether I should change the headlights to the DRLs or if I should leave them with the ones that are on it now. Thank you.